junkeret ved juletid.
Ting tang ting nu til dig.
Omkring ham dannede sneen hvid.
Ting tang ting nu til dig.
So after we get done with our ramblings, we talk about our topic of the episode show.
Yeah.
Or
Totes.
So our topic of the episode show this week is the question: is Westworld a video game?
Yeah.
And Westworld, for those of you who haven't seen it, is it's a show on HBO. It was originally a Michael Crichton book, and then a movie starring Yul Brynner, which is awesome.
Yes.
And then they're doing it in HBO now with Anthony Hopkins. Recommended by the official TWIOCH perspective on this is this show is recommended. Watch it, talk to us.
Yes.
We stay caught up, and so
It's completely recommended. We're as caught up can be. I don't want to spoil things here. So if you have not watched Westworld, we're not going to spoil things. We're just going to talk about the idea of Westworld.
Right.
So to do that, I think we need to talk about what Westworld is.
Okay.
So Westworld is a futuristic theme park that the setting of the theme park is the Wild West.
Right.
So you go there for your vacation of a week or whatever, and you pay an exorbitant amount of money to do whatever you want in the Wild
world.
West. The hosts hosts are the robots, the androids that work there, that look exactly like us, that feel like us. You can do whatever you want to them. You can shoot them. You can other things. They cannot kill you.
right.
They can harm you. Like
They can
Yeah.
hurt you, but they can't really harm you.
Yeah,
I think is the best way to put it.
Yeah, they have protocols that make sure that they do not kill, that they don't really harm you.
Right,
The bullets don't even do anything.
They do impact. It's like they're shooting you with rubber bullets, basically.
Yeah.
And then you get to kill them, and they have all these storylines intertwining, and so basically the debate comes down to, is it a video game?
So,
And the answer is,
I don't think it's a video game at all.
it's a video game.
You think it's a video
It's
game?
absolutely a video game.
I don't think it's a video game at all.
Okay, you go first. Then I'll tell you why you're
Sure.
wrong.
Okay. So first of all, to fully to do all of this, you're first. Let's set the groundwork. You're saying, is it a video game? As in, are these people jacked into a Matrix-like system?
No.
Or are you saying that the format is a video game?
I'm saying
you're saying the format of Westworld is a video game.
No. You present your position, and then
I need to make sure we have a basis to present off of. Are you postulating that Westworld is a video game similar to Ready Player One, where it's a complete virtual environment that you jack into? Because I don't think it can be.
okay, it's not a video game in that sense. However,
The format,
your interactions are all based on code.
yes.
Your interactions with these characters is based on code,
Sure.
which turns it into a computer simulation with enhanced. It's basically a different format because you're interacting with it physically, which is not too dissimilar from what we're doing now with VR. But that has,
Sure.
we don't have the technology to have this particular interface.
Yeah.
Is what I was looking for. So it's a different type of interface, but because everything you're doing is based on computer code.
Yes.
The hosts, as they're called, the androids are called hosts. The hosts are all coded, and so you're interacting with your physical body. But like in VR, they have those suits that track your movements and everything. This is just a different version of that.
Instead of tracking your movement, you're just physically there.
Right.
Yeah. See, I don't think that it is that, because if there is fluidity, there is improvisation that they have in there. It's just like going to Disney World. This is Disney World on steroids, except you've replaced the people there with robots. The people there,
But you get to shoot
are
the people.
told to speak a specific way.
Right.
The people there are told you can and cannot use certain words.
Right. But they have the ability to still do that. They have free will.
Sure.
Which is what makes that's the distinction.
But your interaction with them is exactly the same. Even though they have free will, they have a specific way that they
if you punch them, they will not react according to code.
Well,
if you walk up and punch Belle in the head, first of all, you're going to get thrown out. But secondly, you're probably going to hear Belle swearing in front of some 5-year-olds.
If you do, Belle will be thrown out. If Belle swears, she is fired.
Okay.
If they see her do anything that is not Belle-like, she is fired. If anyone sees her smoking, she is fired. So her rules, even if literally, if I went, which I will not do because I love Disney and I do not want to get banned from there, but if I went to Disney and I punched Belle in the face, if she doesn't go, oh dear, I don't know why you did that. If she doesn't do that, if she goes, you mother, if she does that, she's fired. Right on the spot. Right on the spot. How is that different than taking down an android? It's the exact same thing.
It's not, because she is a person with, yes, she has to deal
She'll
with...
never be in the park again. Just like you'll never have that robot in the park ever again. They drill...
They take them out and they take them away, but they were never there to begin with. If they run outside of their programming, they are defective.
Yes.
If a ride in if a ride in Disneyland or Disney World malfunctions,
then you have to do a reconstruction on the ride.
Right. Then they'll fix it. They'll reconstruct it. They'll do whatever they need to do.
Which is what Ford is doing in the park. No, I guarantee it's not a spoiler. They're just doing renovations in the park.
Right.
That's different than the hosts. The hosts, if you're comparing them, you're comparing them to a person who works for Disney World, a cast member, as they're called in Disney. And in Disney, if a Disney person, like under their breath, goes fucking whatever, they're fired.
Right, and
they are fired.
They have the ability to do that.
They have the ability to do that, but
the androids are getting close to AI.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But like what they're always trying to do in video games is create a simulation of real world. This is the only difference between this and a video game is the interactive. We don't have that technology yet, but this is still a video game because you are a human interacting with a coded environment.
No, that is true. That is true. It's just no, I would agree with that. I was just thinking of the experience and how everything is run. Now, if you want to look at it as this is a next step of how coding works for AI NPCs, I would agree with you on that. I would completely agree with you on that. But the way the rest of it works, other than the host AI, and I'd even say most of the host AI is exactly what happens at Disney, because Disney does an amazing job of keeping the magic.
They're very good at that.
It'd be even better if they could do accents in different areas. They don't.
That'd be cool.
But some of them do, but they got to be really, really good.
Yeah.
Now, your primo cast members, which I would put in the same category as hosts, are, like you said, Belle, Jasmine, all of your characters.
Yeah.
And when the characters are held in such a high regard that if they go off of their script, of their code, they're gone.
Yeah.
There is not any leeway where if you're talking to someone at a shop, there's a lot of leeway. They talk to you about like, oh yeah, I love buying this. I bought this. Have you seen that? That's new. Yeah. But if you talk to Belle, she does not talk about the shops. You can say, I bought this at the shop, and she goes, okay, that's lovely. She will, if she says,
that doesn't look like anything to me.
That doesn't look like anything to me. If Belle said, oh, I love that shop next to the Starbucks, and they have this. If they do that, it breaks that magic of why would Belle shop there?
It removes the interaction. Yeah. And see, that's the thing, because like what we were referencing just a second ago, if you show the hosts a picture of like a well, not a train station, but like
scientists in like a big coat,
or if you show them like Times Square or something like that, they are unable to process what they're seeing, and they'll say. They will use the phrase, that doesn't look like anything to me.
Yes, and specifically that phrase.
Right, and so for me that's one of the arguments for it being a video game, because there are constraints outside of which they cannot act. And that goes into spoilers.
I'd say their programming is very much like the best NPC programming you could ever think of.
Right.
I would agree with that.
So
I do agree.
Jake says it's like a futuristic Red Dead. In a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah.
You ran out of power.
I did run out of power. I was busy talking.
So we have Chris White in the comments. He says, I can see an argument for both sides. I'm going to say it's not a video game and more an amusement park or an activity such as paintball with a story.
Yeah, it's paintball with a story.
Yeah, but I get to shoot real bullets, which is extra fun.
Okay, well, but other than you suspending disbelief slightly, if you could go in Westworld, if they had a Renaissance fair type thing where you go somewhere and you're in the Wild West or wherever, and you're given a paintball gun, and if you shoot the hosts, the people who are paid actors there, and they act like they've been shot and it's red, I think that's close enough where you would get that feeling. Yeah. As opposed to if it was paintball and you shoot them and they just keep shooting back at you. No. But if they acted in pain, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Here's my biggest question about Westworld. What happens... Okay, so like he said that you can do anything, you know, and kind of chose not to elaborate on the things you can do to the hosts. Here's my question, though.
Other hosts will, if they see it, they will react to that, though.
Right, but... Okay, so it's an HBO show, so of course there's going to be sex.
Sure.
And so you can sex the hosts.
Yes.
Guests have definitely had sex with each other and transmitted sexual diseases to each other in the park, thinking the other one was an android.
I guarantee it's happened.
How did they handle that? Like, what do you, as the park? You're kind of responsible for that because you set up a situation.
I don't think you're responsible in that case, but I think it's a definite. That's a definite thing because you could have situations where you're interacting with somebody, and if they are staying in character, right? If they're in character, if they're LARPing, and it's an elaborate LARP. Unless there was a specific code word or phrase that a guest could use to tell another guest, I'm not a robot.
I mean, you could show them a picture.
You could show them a picture. That's how they. Now the only problem is that your run-of-the-mill guest who's going there, you aren't going to know.
Yeah.
And you can't bring that in. They won't let you bring in pictures.
Right.
So, because you bring in pictures and they get left there, you have issues.
Right. So, Alex says the show creators have said that they studied video games to kind of create a game culture.
Okay.
And you can see that in some places. Like there's actually like a head of a super smiley character from what was the third BioShock?
BioShock Infinite?
Yeah, there's like a head of a mannequin in one of the design shops.
Oh, really?
And then they also there's a lot of Rapture stuff going on here.
Yeah.
And okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read his comment in its entirety.
Sure.
It says, the show creator said that they studied video games to kind of create a game culture. I'd say in the earlier episodes, the human characters fill gamer, MMO / gamer stereotypes. These are the NPCs. I went ahead and read all this. This is not spoilery. It's just kind of defining some of the characters. Yes. It says the man in black is a veteran that is looking for every Easter egg or glitch. Logan is a high-level raider that is escorting his noob friend William grind to end-game content.
Yes.
William is more of a role player who likes the lore. The families are casuals, and I'm sure we'll see gankers at some point. The neat thing is that the seams of this game are starting to be forgotten, just like how a good game sucks you in.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm completely in agreement on that. So, yeah, like it's definitely designed like a video game.
Yeah.
But I would say because you're interacting with coded individuals.
I can see where you feel that way. But I will give props to Disney. This is why I really love Disney, and I'm going there in July, June. Yeah, one of those.
I don't know when you're going to places.
One of those. So I'm going. I'll be going to Disney and on a cruise, and that's one of the reasons I keep going to Disney. Is the level of detail, level of care that they do in regards to your immersion. If you meet, even as an adult, if you meet Ariel, she is Ariel. She stays in character the whole time, I'm sure there are people who propose to them and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
And they have to be prepared to improvise into whatever is going on. Oof. And I'm sure they get some weird stuff. But they stay within their programming. If they do not, and other guests see, they're gone. Now there's a different level of scrutiny for other cast members. They call everyone cast members. Mm-hmm. If you work at Starbucks, you're still considered a cast member, and you still have certain things to uphold, but it's not quite as strict as Bell.
Right, because you're
a person.
you're a part of this, but you are within the same world.
Yes.
That the guests
as
are.
opposed to going to Harry Potter, which I wish that it was all like this, because when you go into Ollivander's at the very beginning, if you go into the wand shop, and the first section, if you got in line to do it, because there's usually a line, they have this presentation about the wand picking you, and that person stays in character, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then they open up and you go into the regular shop and they don't. And I wish everybody in that... There are some people who try to do British accents and everything, but I wish everybody, as soon as you walk through and you're in Diagon Alley, everyone should be in character.
The thing about that is, for me, like, the reason that you're able to do what they do at Disney World and Disneyland is because these are people who grew up with Disney, and they love Disney, and people want to work at Disney because they love Disney. I feel like that there are enough people that you can do that for Harry Potter.
I think
there's an entire generation of kids. Okay, yesterday I was at a kid's birthday party, and I actually refereed a dozen wizard duels. Like, calling them out on spells and telling them, because they would choose their spells, not tell anybody, cast them. I would tell them who's hit first, what it did, and if it affected the other person being able to finish their spell. I did have a 7-year-old cast Crucius on somebody.
No.
To be fair, that's a really short spell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have high hopes for the next generation.
Easy to remember. Yeah. Well, so let us know what you think about Westworld. If you guys are watching it, careful on spoilers in the comments, but let us know. What you
can tweet at us directly at TWIOCH, and we're up to date, and we will stay up to date. So yeah,
and I would like to have a wrap-up show on this one.
Oh, no question. At the end of the season, we will do a wrap-up show for Westworld.
My buddy Frank, if he would come on, I'd like to have him on.
Okay, cool.
So we'll let you know more about that later. But anyways, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll talk to you later.